been pooping a lot today.
Today?
Yeah.
Not like yesterday, but just today. Okay. Today hasn't been going on very long for you to already have to say I've been pooping a lot today. It's only noon, 11:30.
I've been pooping a lot today because like that I said I had a bit planned for the first part and I didn't.
It's a good bit.
Yeah, I just like the sound. I was like, I could talk during that. I've been pooping a lot today, Tim. I had Jimothy John's last night. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Never.
Yeah, I've heard of Jimmy's John.
Jimmy's John.
Yeah.
I got a spicy Italian sandwich. And they have Jimmy peppers on those.
What's a Jimmy pepper?
Well, I don't know, but it's a hot
But
pepper.
it makes you poop.
It makes me poop every time I have it, and I thought this time would be different. I don't know why, but it gives me the shits. It gives me the hot shits, and they're not that spicy.
Yeah. That's kind of unfortunate that they're not. You'd think, I can sacrifice having a good poop for having something real spicy if I want. Are they good? Are they real good? You like a Jimmy pepper?
Yeah, they're delicious, but they give me hot shit, so I feel like I should not eat those.
Yeah, maybe not.
Merry Christmas. Yeah. Yeah. I've been pooping a lot today.
Poop's been a lot for you today.
Spewing out, squirting, squishing.
Hot shits like this hot drip. Look at my diamonds on my neck and
What's
my
up,
face.
boy? What's up, guys? It's your dirty boy Nelly.
Dirty Nelly.
What's up, guys? It's your dirty boy Nelly.
Hey.
Dirty Nelly. Dirty Nelly.
Yeah, what's good? This your boy Flo Rida.
Oh shit! I didn't know he was in the studio today.
Hey everybody, welcome to the studio. Flo Rida. How you doing, Flo Rida?
Yeah, what's good? This your boy Flo Rida.
Yeah, we
know.
said that. Yeah,
we heard you. We know your name is Flo Rida. I heard your song the other day, My House, and I was like, man, what a great song you wrote, Flo Rida.
Yeah, what's good? This your boy Flo Rida.
Yeah, I know who it is still. We got our studio bassist playing right now, and he's playing a lot.
Yeah, what's good? This your boy Flo Rida.
We know who it is, Flo. You don't have to repeat your name over and over again. It's really impressive.
It's your dirty guy.
What'd you say, Flo? I'm sorry.
It's your dirty Nelly, aight?
Are you saying you're Nelly now, Flo?
Yeah, what's good? This your boy Flo Rida.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
okay.
Flo, are you gonna be in the studio long today?
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah, what's good? This your boy Flo Rida.
Yeah, I know who you are. Are you staying in the studio long today?
Yeah.
Okay, so he is. I don't know how the bassist is playing that high on his bass. I don't even know if he's playing that. He's playing the strings all the way down at the end of it right now. Like, he's not even on the fucking, I don't know the terms. The neck. He's not on the neck.
He hasn't touched the neck.
He hasn't
in
been
years.
touching the neck in years because he's playing all the way up there. I don't know how he's got so many fingers.
Yeah, what's good? This your boy Flo Rida.
I'm really wanting Flo Rida to leave if he's just gonna say over and over what his name is. Well, anyway, Flo, I was a real big fan of my house when you wrote that in 2015, 2016.
Yeah, what's good? This your... Yeah, what's good?
Hey, what's up? This is Stefani.
Okay, hey everybody, welcome to... You're listening to Chronic Nonsense, the podcast that... You struggle with that volume part, though.
Yeah, trying
That's
to
so
turn a
hard.
volume knob with your foot is not easy.
It's so... That's...
I mean, I can do it with my toes, but I don't really want to grab that with my toes.
Loop pedals should be a little more... From what I've seen, it's great.
Oh, it is.
Are you playing banjo right now?
Yeah.
Okay. From what I've seen, like the loop pedal is great. It's a great addition to the show. Thank you so much. You're trying to play dueling banjos with me right now, and I don't have a banjo. I don't know what, and I don't think you're playing that song.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
But anyway, oh, dude, the other day, speaking of banjos, the other day I saw that there's a banjo-lele. That's a thing that exists.
Yeah,
And it's four strings and
yeah.
small. And it sounds like a banjo.
Yeah,
It's like a little higher, but it sounds like a
Right.
banjo. And I was like,
it's like
nope, nope, that doesn't sound like that.
Yeah, what's good? This your boy Flo Rida.
But no, yeah, they should have
what's
this
good?
set
This your
up.
boy Flo Rida.
Like really, what they should have
what's good?
done,
This your boy Flo
right?
Rida. what's
Is
good? This your-
there's the big
what's-
button for the looping.
Dude, hold on.
What's
Flo,
what's good? This
get
your
out.
boy Flo Rida.
Thank you.
He left. He left the studio.
Yeah,
There's the door. He just-
I really need to oil those hinges.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Some WD-40.
I'll be the deputy.
I'll be the deputy.
They should have it set up so what it is, there's like a big button for the looping that's like a foot press thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then there are two buttons at the top that are really tiny and not really meant to be pressed with your foot.
No.
And those are like the moving between the tracks. Like you can switch to a different like track for it. And then in between that is a little volume knob that you have to like turn. So none of those three things are really good for doing with your foot. But the button itself for the looping is very much like you could press it with your hand, but it's designed to be pressed with your foot. So it's like, why is the rest of it like that? And I feel like it'd be pretty simple, like make a pedal that you can like tilt and it just stays in different positions, and that's the volume, right? And then you have two smaller buttons, but still foot buttons that go between the two tracks. Problem solved.
I want to believe that probably exists
Oh,
out
I'm
there.
sure it does. I'm sure they have loop pedals like that, but not from this company. Or at least not that I saw from this company.
Thank you.
I wish I want to find one like the one that Reggie Watts uses. His has got 4 buttons like this, 4 like foot pedal buttons, and each one is a different. Like they all simultaneously work as the thing, so you can have like I can do the multiple layers, but I can only undo the most recent one.
Okay.
Right? But he can like start and stop and add on the 4 separate ones that are consistently going at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's like that's really cool.
Mr. Fuck Shit Stack. Okay.
That's like the worst.
Oh, who's coming in now? An accordion just walked in and started doing this. You know what we haven't had?
What happened?
We haven't had problems with portals, but now we're having problems with people just walking in.
Yeah, we
I don't-
really should get a lock for that door.
The
Oh,
portals.
it has a lock on it. I didn't know that.
What's that noise?
I'm playing cello.
Oh, okay. You're playing one continuous note on the cello.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. I've got a very long bow.
It's still going.
Yeah.
Your arm's not even that long.
Yeah,
How is
well,
it doing that?
I'm. It's an open note. I'm not pressing the strings down at all, and I'm just like moving my hands down this
I see
just
it. You don't
forever
have to
long
explain it to
bow.
me.
I'm explaining it to the audience. The bow's going out the window right now because there's not enough room in our in this room for it.
Yeah, the window's open.
Yeah. Alright, I'm almost out. Just kidding. I've got more. And there it is.
What's up, guys? It's your Dirty Boy Nelly.
Hey guys, it's the podcast. We haven't
Dirty Boy Nelly.
we
He
haven't
doesn't-
really talked about anything yet.
We haven't, but I'll tell
I mean,
you
we
what.
talked about Jimmy's.
You know what's happening today for me, Tim?
What's happening today for you?
Have you ever heard of Garvin Gate?
No, what's that?
It is a blues festival here in Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So if
You
you're
going to
listening to
that?
this, it's already happened, but I am going to that.
That's cool.
And it's actually thrown together by I say
Garvin.
thrown together. It makes it sound like it's unplanned or whatever, but it's
Yeah.
it's my Emma, her papa is the one who runs the whole thing.
Okay.
So
Cool.
We have like VIP tickets and are going to be behind the stage and stuff.
That's pretty
the whole
awesome.
time. Yeah. And there's like bourbon tasting, tasting,
Same
testing.
Got to make sure that
There's a bunch
bourbon
of people in lab
works.
coats watching.
Make sure the bourbon works, guys.
Make sure the bourbon will kill you.
So, any exciting groups you're gonna see?
I have no idea.
That's kind of the best. You don't know what you're getting. You're just going.
Yeah,
I like
and
that.
I'm not a blues guy either. I don't really listen
Yeah.
to blues, but it's good music.
Oh,
you
it's
know,
it's very good music.
I'm
yeah.
sure you'd. That's why I wanted to let you know about it because I'm sure you'd like to go.
Yeah.
And it's on. I think I don't remember the street, but it's like in Old Louisville, and it's like a couple streets
The oldest of Louisville's.
are like shut down, and they're playing a bunch of blues bands there.
That's cool.
And it's good music, good times, good vibes. Here's the fun part about
What's
that.
the fun part
this
about that?
today, though? My parents are meeting Emma's parents for the first time.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah, I think
Good.
so. I mean, I don't have issues with Emma's parents at all. So
Good.
I mean, and neither would they. But it's just one of those things where it's like, huh,
Yeah.
this is gonna happen. And I always knew it was gonna have to happen eventually.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
but now it's happening, and I'm like, what's that gonna be like? They're
Yeah.
just not the same in any way.
No.
And my
I don't
grandparents,
know why would they be?
sorry, I said grandparents, and it triggered a tornado. My grandparents were in town too, and they're even more like unhinged than my parents are.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't know
funny.
if my parents are unhinged, but they're
Yeah.
just kind of different than everyone else's. They're a bit fun.
Yeah, I would say
guess.
they're unhinged, but they're interesting.
No, my grandparents are
But
unhinged.
your grandparents are
Grammy and
unhinged.
Papa, bro.
Pop and Grammy.
If you know, everyone who's met them knows that they're like, well, in a good way, in the best way.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, there's nothing wrong with them.
They're
just
insane.
They're just like,
But it's
they'll just talk,
insane.
and they're the best, kindest people, and they're just so. Some people like to keep to themselves and stuff, and are just different. And and if they were here, I don't know what I'd do. They're not though. I thought they were going to be. I thought they
yeah.
were also going to come too. And my
That would've
sister,
been something.
My sister's going to meet them as well, and it's like
yeah.
it's a whole family reunion. Do you have any experience with anything like that?
No, not really.
No,
Yeah, not really.
you didn't. I know with Tia's situation and stuff.
I mean,
but
I
like
guess I guess we did when she had her graduation. What does that sound?
Do you hear
Do you hear
something?
that?
Hold on, let me take my headphones off.
I heard like something dripping or something hitting something.
Really?
Nah. Anyway,
That's cut out. Do you think that'll be cut out? No, it won't.
when Tia had her graduation party, the first round, my parents met a lot of the people in her life, so I guess that was kind of the closest thing to that. But it wasn't like there were so many people there that there was no like prolonged my parents interacting with any particular person.
I guess that'll kind of be this because this is at a concert area.
That's fair, but I mean like all of the people there were there for Tia. Yeah. Versus like at a concert, like there are a lot of people, but the only like there aren't as many people directly connected to what's happening to you. So
yeah, that's kind of.
But you know that I mean I'm sure it'll go fine.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Especially like you said, I mean it being like a event, like even if they don't like hit it off or something, it's not like it's going to be really awkward because there's lots of stuff happening.
Yes, there is. And so I just don't know. I've never been in a scenario like that before. I've never had to do that. I'm still new to relationships and stuff like that. I refused to get in one before.
Right.
That's what happened. I like that you agreed to that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's you.
You always chose to not have
you're
one.
Like, none of that.
You were like, I will never be with any girl ever
out of here,
until
girls.
I met Emma.
Get out, girls.
And that's what I told Emma, and that's what she thinks to this day.
Yeah.
Because why would she not?
You looked at Emma and you said, get out, girls.
Get Out is on Netflix.
Well, ain't that just a jolly fun flappa-dappa time?
Flappa-dappa-doo. Man, I'm tired. You know what else happened this week? I finally got my medicine back.
Hey, that's exciting.
Finally.
Good for you,
It took me 2 weeks, but I got it back. And you know what had to happen? I had to call off work.
Oh, really?
I had to call off work and be like, you know what? I can't go into work today. I need to figure this. I need to take aside a whole day. And it took me a whole goddamn day.
That's a long time to have to do something.
Because I have to coordinate with when insurance would potentially answer.
Yeah.
A bunch of different Walgreens with a bunch of different hours because we don't know which ones will have the medicine I need and which ones and how late they're open because they're all different. And then how late my doctor will be open that day, you know, because I couldn't do it on weekends, which are my only free days. Yeah. So I'd always have to spend time like either during the workday calling people or like trying to do two things at once. And I can't do that, you know?
Yeah, that's not a good situation to have to do that with.
And I spent a lot of that time just waiting for them to just get it in stock. And I was like, I can't do that. I got to look for all these fucking places.
Yeah.
And man, it feels so good to finally have it. Oh my goodness.
Good.
It feels so good.
So good.
But now I'm just terrified because
about next time that this might happen.
Yeah, because it's like they only give me 30.
Yeah.
They only give me 30 of them. And it feels like I spent 30 days doing this.
Yeah.
I didn't. It's about half of that. But like still.
Right. That's like, I mean, that's too many.
It's too many.
It's too many.
It shouldn't work like that's why I just have such a problem with I don't know that much about politics, but I have a problem with the controlled substance laws in the United States because it's just they make it so impossible to get medicine that's needed by people. And I always say that I think the biggest priority should be the people who need that medication over what you're attempting to prevent, which is drug abuse. Yeah. Which is, I understand
good thing to prevent.
I understand what you're trying to prevent, but I feel like the way you're going about it affects too much of the good people. And I feel like there's more effective ways in treating people with drug abuse than just cutting them off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, it's like
or
that same thing
making it harder
that, like,
to get.
We said before, like, it shouldn't be easy to get. Like it shouldn't be easy for somebody to just walk in and be like, well, I need that. Thank you. But it's not like that. It never has been really for prescription drugs. So I feel like you just, you should never make it so that the people that need it can't get it when they need it.
Yeah.
And that's what they've done. And I feel like, maybe more people would find ways of getting it and abusing it if you changed the laws from what they. Well, I'm sure more people would, but I think it's worth that just so that the people that actually need it can get it. Because what's the point of having it if the people that need it can't get it when they need it?
Another thing I was thinking about too when I was doing like what would help, like, and I think this is just I go through Walgreens and their policy with controlled substances is that they can't. So right now there's that Vyvanse shortage, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's a bunch of stimulants too, like Adderall and a bunch of them are in a big shortage right now, and so they can't check other Walgreens to see if they have them in stock,
Right.
just because that's their rules with controlled substances. But they can do that with any other medicine. They could just be like, oh, we don't have that right now, but this Walgreens in the area does, you know,
Yeah.
and this one does. It makes the process so much quicker. You know, it eliminates a
See, and I don't fully understand why they can't do that with the controlled substances. Like, I'm sure there are reasons, but it's like I feel like if you can prove, like, okay, I have a prescription for this and I need it, then I feel like they should be able to be like, okay, well then here's where you can get it.
That's what I was thinking
like
too.
that
It's
seems like a no-brainer.
You have-
there might be more to it than I'm understanding, but like,
in order for me to get the medicine in there, I have to go through my doctor who has to write a prescription out
Right.
for it, right?
yeah,
And they have to do that for every single one. So and this was the worst part. Like this week, hello. Hello. This week, I had, what was it? What I could go through the whole thing, but it's
Yeah.
such a story of like calling this place. I've honestly forgotten most of the places
yeah.
that I've contacted and tried to, you know, get.
And that's
a
how you
hold
know
of.
it was too many.
And for some, like, one day I called, I think it was after work, a place that had the medication,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it was actually the closest Walgreens to me. And I was like, oh, cool,
Okay.
perfect. They have it, but it was past the time my doctor was there.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I was like, okay, well, I guess after work tomorrow, I'll try to get that in. Or actually, no, I think it was on a. No, what happened? Oh, I remember now. So it was last weekend, last Saturday.
Yeah.
I called the and my doctor is open on Saturdays just in the mornings. So I called the place early in the morning and they're like, we have it, right?
Yeah.
And I got my medicine. I was able to contact my, doctor.
Yeah.
And I was like, this place has it. Get it sent over, right? And it was kind of like near the end because I called a bunch of different places. So they got it written down, but they didn't get it sent in till Tuesday.
Jeez.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And that was kind of the. Probably should have said, hey, I'm out. Get it in as soon as you can, please.
Yeah.
And I go over there to like pick it up, and they have it there in the bag for me. And they're like, and I was like, oh, cool. Finally, I get my medicine on Tuesday. And they were like, your copay is going to be $100 and something. And I was like,
Nice.
That's never been an issue. I don't pay.
Yeah.
I don't ever have a copay.
Right.
We meet our deductible real early in the year. So I was like, fucking A. Okay. Well, hold on. Let me call fucking insurance real quick. And this is all after work. Right. So I only have and my doctor leaves at like 4, right?
Yeah.
And I get off at 3:30.
Yeah. Yeah.
This day I think I got off at 3. I don't remember, but so I only had like an hour to like figure it out and be like, ooh, get it in, ooh, all this, right?
Right.
Got in contact with insurance. The problem was like, so the generic brand is out too. I don't know if have I talked about this on the podcast?
Yes. Yeah. The generic brand but it's not like everywhere yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot I did that. Oops.
That's all right.
This is another story.
Yeah, it's a new story.
Because of that, it was like generic, and I was, if for some reason it said because I was going for the brand name, there's a penalty for that. you
Yeah.
know,
Okay.
if-
Yeah.
because
Which is dumb.
Yeah, because I can't get generic, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this problem's been happening here. We'll get it." And then they talk to my doctor and stuff, and my doctor had to write a specific prescription, right? And that was all taken care of the next day.
Okay.
By the next day, so insurance like really actually for once came in and was like really handled that, and I was
Well,
like,
that's
okay,
good.
perfect. So I go to pick it up, and they were like, "We don't have your medicine, and we're out." No.
Oh yeah, that's how? What happened?
In one day,
Yeah.
they had it, and not only that, they were about to give it to me that day. So that
Yeah.
means that medicine that was given, they gave it to someone else.
Yeah, they really did. They were just like, "Here's this," because we didn't think this guy was going to come get it. I guess.
I mean, that's definitely not what was happening. It was, I don't know what. I think
I mean, it's obviously not that, but like that's
because
what it feels like
the problem
on your
was
side of it.
the
you know?
doctor had to write a new prescription for me.
Yeah.
that had specifically had to say no exceptions or something
Right.
like that. And so I guess in doing that, the one script that was sent in before was taken out.
Right.
So the new one could be put
that
in.
medicine went back into like.
I guess that's their
Yeah, I
thing.
don't know- I
but
don't know how that
you
works, but-
Shouldn't I don't think you should do that.
yeah.
I don't think that's if another one is being written,
Yeah.
in one day it went away, and I was so
Happy.
sad because
You're just like, yeah,
this had
this
been
is
happening
good.
for a week and a half before that. Like,
Yeah.
I was like,
Which is already like way too long, and then it's like, okay, now it's more. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
yep. And so I had to start, and that's where I was like, I can't do this after because
yeah.
because it obviously it was just one day. And though it would have been solved if I had had a whole day to do it, like if I did in the
Yeah.
morning and then, you know what I mean? It would have been solved that day.
Yeah.
But because it was all after work and stuff, I was like, I have to call off work, which,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're so lovely about.
Yeah. I'm sure they love that.
Sure, they love it. They don't.
Oh, they don't?
Ding, I got it right.
Crazy.
Anyway, that's what happened to me. I don't know if that's interesting.
No, it is. It's not.
It's not. It's not
It
good.
is.
But yeah, it's a problem in this country. We need to get controlled substances to the people.
Just give them to everybody.
Honestly, I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't give a fuck if someone's taking it.
No fucking about it. Well, that's fun.
Well, I got it now, so we're all
yeah,
good.
I'm glad you got it now.
You got it now. I took care of business.
Way more effort than that should ever be. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was real scared about, like, you know, for school, for school, like, coming up. It's like, I can't do
you
that.
need it for that. Yeah.
I absolutely, that's where people need it the most.
yeah.
I'm sure it's on, like, the shortage isn't helped by, like, school starting up within the past couple months,
Yeah.
you know, and everyone having to go back to school for,
Yeah.
like, their kids. And, ugh. How long has that been going?
I feel like probably since you started your story.
Nice. Well, ladies,
The best loop ever. Been having issues with getting my loops to be seamless. This one's seamless.
no problems.
No issues here.
And it goes right after it's
Goes
over.
right on.
It won't even
Keeps
stop.
on going.
Have you played any video games recently, Tim?
I'll tell you about that. Video games are my favorite sport. I like to watch them dribble up and down my screen.
Hey, Tim. Do you think we're running a good program for
Yeah,
children?
the best program.
Do you think we're running a good program for children?
This week, I played some GTA,
Yeah.
and
You've been
I
back in?
primarily did it so that I could get the new Ghostbusters car.
They have a Ghostbusters car.
They have a
Wow.
car.
And I bet they don't have that long, do they?
No, it's just like a new addition to the
Oh,
game.
just because
But I
Happy
wanted
Halloween.
it now because they're also doing a thing where there are some random ghosts around the map.
Really?
So I want to hunt for those, but I felt like you gotta hunt for them in the
Dude.
in the whatever the
I don't have
the,
money
whatever
in that
car's
game.
called.
Oh,
So-
no.
Well, we can ride together. There's always more than one Ghostbuster.
That's true.
No, there's
It
just
is-
one.
There's always
There's
just one car.
guy.
That
Just
sounds
one
like
guy
fun.
in a
We
little
should do
suit.
that.
We should.
You want to do that tonight?
I'd be down.
Like late, probably later tonight.
Probably
but-
later tonight.
Yeah. But I'd be down. It was Friday the 13th yesterday.
It was. I know. I didn't even realize.
It was so you know what I was like yesterday? I was like, we should watch a movie.
Yeah.
I said that.
That's crazy.
Right? I
But
was like,
I mean, if you're gonna, that's the day.
it was Friday the 13th in October, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we should watch a horror movie right now.
Yeah, I'm actually really upset that I didn't do something like that yesterday.
I don't know if I would have realized. I didn't know it was the 13th until later that night. And
Yeah, I
was
didn't
like,
know until 11:30.
there you go. So that,
Like basically not now.
I just happened to find out before, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, we gotta watch a horror movie. And it was at nighttime.
Hell yeah.
We watched The Conjuring.
Oh, that's
I had never seen The Conjuring before.
yeah. Me neither.
But have you
Me
have
too.
you not,
I
have
think
you
I
not
have.
seen it?
Hold on.
Or
Is that part of the slapper?
it's part of the slapper.
The Conjuring's one of the guys,
It's
isn't
the
it?
first one in the whole Annabelle series.
Yeah, yeah.
and
No, I
think
have seen that. I've seen all of those except for the most recent one, I guess.
Isn't The
now, at this
Nun-
point? I couldn't remember if The Conjuring was part of that or if that was. All those names kind of blend together. They all are the same.
Isn't The Nun like
Yeah, The
1,
Nun.
2?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. I don't remember the order because we didn't watch them in the order they came out in. We tried to watch them in the order of the timeline of what's happening in them,
Oh, really?
which is very different than the order they came out in.
Yeah.
So, but so I don't really remember. I don't know the order they came out in, and I couldn't tell you the order we
I
watched them in
assume
either.
it's
But
Conjuring, Annabelle, all the Annabelle movies with The Nun kind of put in there a little
yeah, I
bit.
feel like The Nun might be first, and then The Conjuring and the
Oh,
Annabelle
really?
movies, and then The Conjuring 2.
Oh, they do have a Conjuring too.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's too confusing.
Maybe there
There's
is
too
a
many.
Conjuring too. But I saw that last night, and I remember being a kid and
Yeah.
seeing that trailer.
Yeah.
And that trailer fucked me up. I was like 13, and I was like, that trailer was so scary.
Yeah.
And after watching it, I was like, it was a scary movie. It was
Oh,
creepy.
yeah.
It was very well done. I liked it, but there were parts of it where I was like, man, it would have gotten me more if I had never seen that trailer.
Right.
If I didn't know what this movie was about, this movie
Yeah.
would be because that trailer was a little too good
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it just showed too many of the good parts, like that clap part where the hands come out and clap and stuff. That's
yeah.
the scariest part.
That's
for
one
me.
of my big beefs with trailers for horror movies. Like with trailers in general, I feel like sometimes it's a tough balance to strike because you want to give people enough information about the movie that they're interested in it, but you don't want to give them so much that they know too much of the story already.
Yeah.
Or
Which I
but
didn't.
then with a horror movie, you run into a lot more issues, I feel like, because you want to make the trailer scary and you want to make it interesting. And the ways to do that are to show the scary, interesting things that happen in the movie. But if you show too much of that, you see stuff coming. I don't know. It's just a tough balance to strike. I don't like trailers for that reason, but you need them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're very important.
Yeah.
But
I would think that for horror movies specifically, you would need, because I mean, I personally find it way more intriguing when you only know just the tiniest little.
Yeah.
You don't know anything about the thing, but
Yeah.
it's intriguing. Like it's scary enough, and I remember, I mean, what got me to see, what was the movie I saw this year, which ended up being fine, not that good. I think it was Deadpool. No, it wasn't Deadpool.
Deathpool.
Is it Deathpool?
It might be.
I'm trying to think.
But
It was
I like thinking
Bloodpool?
about Deathpool as like a sequel of Deadpool.
That'd be no. It was Bloodpool, something like that. It had one of the Skarsgård brothers in it. I'm gonna look it up real quick because it's gonna bother me.
One that I saw, The Black Phone. What was that, last year when that came out?
Infinity Pool.
Infinity Pool. Interesting. That I was not going to get there.
No,
No.
but you saw Black Phone.
Yeah, and that was one where the trailer came out, and I felt like I saw more than I should have
In that
it.
trailer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, I know that they wanted you to understand like why it's called The Black Phone a little bit, but like, have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Do you plan to?
I do
wanna-
eventually, but
So, like, in the trailer, you see that there's like this kid's getting like phone calls from this phone where he's being held captive in a basement,
yes,
and I'll just like,
you can.
I totally
for the sake of the
understand-
podcast, you can. I don't care that much.
that's
will
all I
still
was
see
going
it.
to say about
Oh,
it.
okay.
I totally understand why they showed that in the trailer, but for me, when it got to that part, I'm like, okay, I fully understand what's happening now, and I didn't want to. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
you
Like, I
kinda
wanted
wanted
to
to-
get there and be like, what? Now, I thought that movie was great. Don't get me wrong. I think that's a very good movie. I've watched it twice.
Really
I watched it twice within like, a month.
cool.
But it's one of those where the trailer, I was like, you showed me a little more than I feel like you should have.
It seems like that's a studio problem too.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, I bet that most people who are making the movies would just imagine.
I don't think the creators of the movies generally have much of a hand in the trailers at all.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Because I would just, what I would want if I was, and I feel like most people would do this. Like, I don't want to tell you. I want you to go
Right.
see it.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah, like I want to show you just enough that you're interested in seeing
I want to
it.
show, not tell. You know, and it's like kind of, and I mean, I love trailers that. So what I was saying with Infinity Pool, it was just like I only saw quick Snapchat trailers.
Yeah.
that were just like people like there was a face screaming, there was some other stuff, and I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
but and like cool imagery, and it was just like bam, Infinity Pool, and I was like, okay, well. Awesome.
Yeah, I'll
I liked,
check that out.
I liked the imagery that I was seeing there. That's enough for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm sure people are different, but it's just those are always my favorite when I don't know what I'm watching and then I
Yeah.
go into it.
One that I thought that some of the later advertisements I felt like did more of the thing that we're talking about, where it's like, hey, too many, too much. But the first round of trailers for Nope, I thought were great.
those were awesome.
Now, part of it's because that movie,
You can't
it's
tell
like
people.
you
I know.
don't know like what's happening.
I've
really
heard a little
for
bit
a lot of it.
that movie, and I'm like, oh wow, none of that is in the trailer.
But it's like, but yeah, that's the thing. Like
That's
the
a great
first
example.
trailers, it's like, yeah, well, like I was super interested in seeing it, but I had no idea what to expect.
It probably also helped that it was an established director in
Yeah.
Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
So it was like people already like all you needed to know that Jordan Peele was making another movie. You already got
Yeah, I
your-
was gonna see it
you
anyway.
already got people coming to see
Yeah.
it. So that probably helped.
Definitely.
And I guess I don't know, but that's who I am at least. But I do. That's all, and it's weird. I also love watching the trailers before
Yeah.
a movie
Yeah.
when I go to the theaters because I love seeing stuff about them. You know, and I feel like it's only really a problem with like action movies, or no, not action movies. Horror movies.
Yeah.
That's where I have the biggest.
Yeah, I think that's pretty true.
Because like they just want to show all their cool
They
shit.
want to show you some scary bits.
And it's like, I get it, but you can be scary by not showing.
Yeah,
That's
you
scarier
can be
for
subtler
me.
and scary. you
Just,
know?
like not showing can be way scarier.
Right.
Way scarier.
Yeah.
That was one of the coolest parts of The Conjuring.
Oh,
where, it was Joey King's character she was like sitting up in bed. She was like, "There's someone behind the door right there." And you don't see anyone behind the door. It's just like, but like the music's going, and that was like right after she got her like leg pulled, by a ghost or whatever, or demon, whatever it was. And she's like pointing behind the door and stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's definitely, that's scary. That's so fucking creepy and scary. I loved it. And that was kind of my thing with The Conjuring 2 is I liked the first half more than the second half.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's some creepy stuff
understand
in
that,
the second half, but I was also I'm sure Emma was tired. I'm like, why is no one dying yet? No one's died.
Yeah.
This is lame. No one's dying.
Where's the dead?
Which,
Bring out your dead.
Bring out your dead. Which you don't really... I don't necessarily want that to happen in every horror movie. People dying, because I don't think anyone dies in it, really, besides Georgie. And...
Yeah.
But still, Georgie dying was enough to make the threat seem like a threat.
Yeah, it really was.
That was kind of my thing.
Yeah.
Like, no one really even got hurt in the...
that's true.
In the
movie.
movie.
Weird.
And so I was like, I don't...
But it didn't matter. It was like, it was what it was supposed to be. It was scary. It was,
Yeah, it was scary. So, it was better. And also I was just so bored with the people who are supposed to be the important, like what's based off of the true story.
Yeah.
And every time while watching it and stuff and seeing that, this is the family and this is what they did, I'm like, bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but fucking bullshit. No way all of that happened. I'm sorry. I don't... It's just... And it's from your guys' account. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, I don't know about all that
That's
either.
a little too specific.
Little too.
Because then you're saying like, oh no, now it's a bigger conversation, but now we're going into like, well then if that's the case, then Christianity is real.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's
that
a whole
is kind of true, isn't it?
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
It's like, it's based on a true story, so it's like, well, if it was, then you're saying that absolutely.
At
there's
least
no
the
doubt.
devil's real.
Yeah, at least.
At least the devil's real, yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I've never seen that. I've seen some. I've been unlucky, though.
I've never seen the devil.
I've never seen the devil in the
Never
Pale.
seen him.
You ever dance with the devil in the
I
Pale?
don't know, in my Pale. What was the one? I think... I was having this conversation with somebody recently. I don't remember who. But about how
Bob Barker.
I think no, probably not.
He's dead.
Oh yeah, no, I probably was then. But sometimes things can be, it's the whole thing about like this is a very it's been said by lots of people before, but the idea of like what you can imagine is scarier or more interesting or whatever than what it's possible to like actually show.
Yeah.
So it's tough to do it right because if you, depending on how you do it, you might leave audiences like, hey, why didn't we see anything? Mm-hmm. But like, I'm trying to think of examples where this has been a thing, but I've seen things where it's like you don't really see what's going on a lot of the time with like scary stuff, and it makes it a lot scarier. So I know what you mean about like you don't have to show things in the movie.
Yeah.
Like some of the better parts are where you don't really know. Like there are some things where there'll be a reveal like this is what the creature is, and it's like, oh well, fun. Now it's less scary.
Oh yeah, it
like,
is always a little less scary.
Sometimes it's like, oh, that's sick. I'm totally on board. But I feel like a lot of time where a lot of the movie has been spent like we're not showing you, and then you see it's always a little like, oh, okay. You know what I mean?
And I don't know if there's any way around that part, though.
Right?
And because you're always
that's like.
But I love seeing those parts.
Something written, I wouldn't want them to do this a lot. I wouldn't want this to be like every movie. It could only be a few, but doing in some movies, like if you write it well enough, you could never show what's after them, and that could be scarier. And I'm sure that's been done.
Oh yeah,
but like it has to be
Blair Witch.
It has to be done right for it to not be disappointing.
You know what is the best like what horror movie has the best version of that?
What?
Like the best, like where it's actually scarier or kind of. I don't know, scarier. See, that's kind of the hard part. But I think it.
Yeah.
No, it is like it's the climax. It's the scariest part, right? Is I think The Fly. I think
really?
The Fly does the best. You still haven't
I
seen
haven't
that?
seen it,
Oh,
yeah.
whoa! You gotta watch it, bro. That's a
watch
good
it,
one.
bro.
I don't know how much you like that, but it's gross.
Yeah.
It's a gross one. Oh, but like at the end where it's like just where it's like completely turned into like, you know, the fly creature thing, like
Yeah.
monster. Oh, it's just like, it's just so well done. I don't,
Yeah.
it's just so like, it's gross and disgusting looking enough to where it's like, you won. You
Yeah,
made it.
you did it.
It's the only one where I've seen where I'm like, that is creepier when you see it all put together than
Yeah, that's fair.
when you saw it piece by piece.
I feel like something like that with some body horror stuff is
It's probably
you
easier,
have a,
too.
You have a better chance of being like oh fuck
Yeah.
all right. I feel like a movie that did the whole like not showing you all of it super well, like did that concept really well without like not showing you anything, is Cloverfield.
Yeah, I
It's
still
just
need
like
to see it.
like you see the monster, you do, but you never see it up close. You never see it in good lighting. You see it up close, but it's so big that you're just seeing a tiny part of it. You never see the whole thing.
You
in
never
a
see a
frame.
full shot.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah. So it's really good in that, and then they kind of ruin it with the Cloverfield Paradox movie, but that's okay.
Yeah, I've not seen it. See, that's what's kind of drawn me away from it recently. I wanted to see it for a while for reasons we both know.
Yeah.
Our hat, my hat, the hat. But yeah. I could do that too. Hold on, wait.
But the Cloverfield movie is fantastic, and 10 Cloverfield Lane is also fantastic.
Oh, Tim. Best movie I've seen that does it where you don't see anything is Blair Witch Project for sure.
I've never seen it.
You never seen Blair Witch Project?
Yeah,
I think you'd like it.
probably.
I think you'd like it because it's kind of weird now because we're in a context of no internet and stuff, and everyone saw it when there was internet,
Yeah,
or everyone saw it when there was no. Never mind.
everyone saw it when there wasn't an internet. That can't be true.
5, 4.
11.
Tim, are you excited today? Are you having an exciting
always
podcast? Are you ready? What time is it? Where are we at?
We're in the 48.
48.
Yeah.
48. Well, tell me, Tim. You got something you want to say on the podcast, right? Got anything cool?
I'm trying to think what's happened.
You'll remember it tomorrow.
I worked really hard to get a lot of work done for my class,
Oh yeah, did you get stuff done?
and I did. And then I went there, and we didn't have to turn anything in
Yeah,
because she forgot
fucking-
about it. I mean, she didn't really forget about it, but like she put it on the schedule like a deadline. And then a lot of people didn't really have the stuff that was on the schedule that we needed, and she never like was like, "Hey, everybody, turn in your stuff online, and I'm going to look at it." She was just kind of like, "Okay, we're going to do what we usually do. I'm going to look at your stuff, going to look at your stuff, going to look at your stuff." And she looked at my stuff, and she was like, "You need to do a lot of things to it. It's bad." She didn't say it was bad, but So it was.
So like
I'm
you,
glad I did the work because I am more on track.
you need. I mean, that's what you were supposed to
Yeah,
do.
I'm
and
more on track now.
if she had done her
But-
job properly, you would have. It was
Right.
That was what you need to do.
But yeah, it's like it sucks because
It sucks so
I
much.
stayed up. See, I'm glad I did all that work, but I wish I had gone to bed at midnight that night. I went
Mm-hmm.
to bed at 2:30 and got up early so that I could finish working on the work.
It's so awful to do
And I
that.
didn't have to do that. That didn't have to happen. So, like,
I
I went to the trouble of putting everything into Photoshop mockups. Like, we had to have business cards, letterhead, all this other stuff. So I went into Photoshop and put these things into mockups so they would look nice for my presentation. And then we didn't present, and she didn't look at my mockups. And I'm like, okay, well then I didn't have to do that. That was a waste of, like, not a waste of an hour, but like, I'm not going to use those now because I have to revise this stuff anyway, which I knew I would going into it, but you know, it's just, I hate that.
I would have been. It would have been. Like, I used to not like that stuff when I was doing that, and now, as I've grown older and become more of an adult, I would hate it so much more.
Yeah.
So much more. I would hate it because it's like, oh, dude, I am an adult doing adult things. I'm here. Like, I'm not a full-time student.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm here twice a week, man.
I'm here twice a week, and it's like, no, you gotta. This is the real. Like, in the real world, outside of that shit doesn't fly.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't.
Due dates are due dates in the
Due
real
dates are
world.
due dates.
Yeah, man. It's like,
Yeah,
fuck.
it's a weird mix of, I feel like school does both ends of the spectrum too far.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in the real world, in my experience, it depends on the job you have, of course.
Yeah, obviously,
But like, in my experience, due dates are due dates. But when external forces get in the way, people are understanding generally, and
in the real world,
it
yeah.
works out.
It's the exact opposite
And
in college.
class, yeah, it's like, no, you don't have. There can't be a good reason you
No.
didn't have this, and it's like, but there is. And then on the flip side of it, yeah, if they just are like, oh, whatever. Then it can be absolutely opposite ends of the spectrum, and in the real world, it's somewhere in the middle on both of them.
Yeah, it's always been like, your boss tells you so far from working, they're like, I need this done by the end of the day, right?
Right.
And then you go, ah, shit, all these fucking things happen. I can't get it done. If you got an understanding boss, then they're like, all right, well, I get it.
Yeah.
Right? It's
Yeah.
the opposite from
And
school.
some bosses will, like, you know, it depends on their style of leadership, but like, some bosses will give you stuff knowing that you're probably not going to get it all finished. And like with my boss, there's an understanding like that, like, I know that he's putting these deadlines, and he's explained, like, those are soft deadlines. This is when we want them done, but I know reality is not going to let that happen. And so it's like, we have a very good, and I know that's not necessarily common.
I hate
but,
soft deadlines personally. They don't, or not soft. I don't hate soft deadlines. I hate. Have you ever had when bosses are like, they give you purposefully too much to do just so it gets
See, that's
you to,
bad.
like,
I don't like that.
to push through and get a lot of it done?
Yeah.
Because for some reason they think you weren't going to do that anyway.
Yeah, like, you'll work harder, and like, maybe you will, but it's maybe psychologically not helpful.
I was about to say it puts too much. It's too much of a negative stress
like,
on
make
you.
me want to quit my job sooner.
Absolutely, that's
Yeah.
what got me to quit Walmart when I was
Yeah.
there.
So
Do that stuff all the time there.
But that's like real world stuff, and then you have professors that it's like, I know you've lived in the real world.
Yeah, you do it.
All your life. What's happening?
How do you? I don't get it.
I don't know. And like, I get when you're in like grade school that you've got the whole, you know, I understand that teachers there handle it differently. I'm not saying that it's necessarily right to, but like, when you're a kid, there are still plenty of external forces that can cause you to not accomplish as much or whatever, and teachers should be understanding of that. But I can understand the perspective of like, well, these kids don't have like when you're in elementary school, you don't have another job or something. You know, it's
Yeah.
like I'm not saying that people absolutely should be understanding, because people have rough times at home. There's lots going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I get the perspective of like, well, these kids aren't like going to work after
what are
this.
you really
Yeah.
like? What's really going on there?
Right.
And
But like when you're in college, it's like, no, I mean, I'm an adult living an adult life now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I understand like young adult, like I don't know what I'm doing yet, but that's even more like evidence for like, hey, please cut me some slack. I don't know
And-
what I'm doing yet.
and in high school, I bet that most, if not all, probably not all, because you know there's always exceptions, but I truly believe that most teachers that exist out there, if you were to say like I got family shit, like in high school, elementary school, middle school, if you're like I didn't get this done, there's some family stuff going on.
Yeah.
100, like it can't be 100%, but like 95%.
I'd say probably
90% of the time,
Yeah.
they're gonna be like, they're gonna try to figure it out with you.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, because I just met too many teachers in my life from my parents being teachers, and even the ones that they're not, you know, the best coworkers with or whatever, and like you don't think that they're good teachers, they still. They want to be. That's what, when people try to be teachers, they just want to. That's the reason they're doing it, is because they want to be that positive force.
Yeah.
You know,
And see, like I even had
because they're not doing it for the money.
remember when we had that report, or we had a paper due. It was like a 5-page paper or something, maybe 5 to 7, due in our, I guess it was probably English class. And it was right after Bruce died. And we went to the teacher, and she was like, I'm not going to extend the deadline for you. And
When
we
was
were-
that?
You don't remember that?
Was this English?
Yeah. You and I were both.
I kind of remember
both
that.
were like, hey, we're not going to get this paper done because we're going
I remember
to the funeral,
now,
doing
yeah.
all this stuff. And she was like, I'm not going to extend the deadline for you.
It's not
And
fair
I
to the
was
other
like-
students.
Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? Well, now knowing how that situation ended and resolved itself, I got like a B on that paper. I turned it in like a week, 2 weeks late. And it's like, okay, so she didn't extend the deadline. She was like, you know, she didn't do what she said she was going to do, because she didn't like whatever she thought the optics were, but she still was looking out for me. You know,
Yes,
it's like
at the end of
she
it.
didn't grade me as harsh as she would have.
I mean, if she followed all of it, like she definitely could have, and like
she would have given me an F. I
the
turned it in
boundaries
2
she
weeks
set-
late.
yeah.
You know, but she gave me a B because she was like, you know, I know that things were happening. So it's like,
Because
you know,
if you
even the like she was kind of a hard teacher sometimes.
Yeah.
She
Just
wouldn't even
old,
do
too,
that. You know, it's
so-
just like, so I'm just, you know, I think a lot of people, given the chance to be understanding, will be understanding. But it is like, it's harder in college too, because like a lot of classes are bigger and there's just more going on, and then there are people that just want to game the system and take advantage of it. So it's, I get being like jaded and not trusting students, but
in
like
college, yeah.
but also like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I honestly, I kind of think like what I was just saying, where all the teachers, and I it might be, I think every teacher in high school, good or bad, wants you to feel comfortable enough to tell them stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think so.
I think they all want you to, because like I said before, what else do you go into teaching for?
Yeah. It's like, you know, not every teacher is good. Not every teacher is a good person.
No, for sure.
But yeah, at the end of the day, it's teaching is not the most
You don't get shit, man.
rewarding thing to do as far as just like
Success,
and yeah, like your typical things that you're doing to try and like get ahead in the world, you're not going to get from teaching. The reward comes from like your students, like how the bonds that you make with your students and
The
how
good
you're
kids.
helping them and like what you're doing for the world. That's where your reward comes from. So you're weeding out a lot of the bad. There's still
dad's-
plenty of bad, but like you're weeding out some of it just by it not being an appealing position.
My dad, is a PE teacher, and he hates his job. Like, hates it. Hates it to an incredible degree where he's literally counting down the days to where he can retire. So you would think that he wouldn't care. But I guarantee if it was like something like that, he would be like, oh, okay.
Well, see, and that's my uncle. My uncle, absolutely, like, he's still teaching. He's like, he's not retired, but he's not he used to be just an English teacher, right? Mm-hmm. And like, but now he's like, he works in the library and does all these other things for the school, but he does teach some. But he is like, nah, teaching, I hate it. And he was like, he was one of the people, he didn't tell me not to become a music ed person, but he was like, I just want to let you know, it's not
all teachers
fun. And it's not like there's lots of good that comes with teaching. Like there are going to be great things about it, but also like the school system fucking sucks and there are all these problems. And I just want you to know going into it, just like all the other teachers in my life have said, and I didn't end up doing it. That wasn't why, but like, that's part of it.
I remember being in middle school, like, and after doing band and stuff, I was like, I want to do that when I'm older. And my parents were like,
no, you don't.
They were like, I'm not here to kill your dream, but I need you to know that if you think that it's going to be and I know it's with every job you have that, but like, especially with teaching, it's like there's
just so much behind the scenes stuff.
There's so much behind the scenes that make it really hard. And it sucks because we need teachers and they don't
really
deserve
do.
it.
Very important.
Yeah.
But like, so he hated his job so much. Still hates his job, but it's not as bad now because he's not having to do all this. You know, it's a little better, but he absolutely hates his job. Can't wait to retire. Everyone that I've ever talked to that has found out that he's my uncle, that like had him as a teacher, is like, oh my God, he was the best teacher I've ever had. I loved him so much. He's so good.
That's got to be the best
and it's
feeling.
like, you know, so it's like, and he hates his job, but he cared so much about teaching and teaching well. He was so good. You know, it's just, and he was not the kind of teacher that would like, people didn't like him because he like just showed movies and stuff. It's not like he was that kind of, he was the kind of teacher that taught, but he just taught in such a good way that people loved it.
Yeah.
And that's part of why he hated his job, because they kept like trying to change his curriculum and shit. He's like, no, I fucking know what I'm doing. Please let me teach. Oh my God.
From like the amount it's changed since when it like, from like even when we were like kids when like, you know, we were kind of allowed, like you could tell that the teachers were allowed a lot of freedom.
Yeah.
And we kind of watched over time their freedom go away with things. Like my mom talked about how she literally just came up with the idea, her and her other like teacher friends, like in the same grade and stuff. They're like, this day we are organizing to go on a field trip to this place, and we're going to do like we're going to be outside at this place, right? And you know, and there's some of that, but it's not like, I don't remember a specific example, but I remember my mom was telling me about it, and I was shocked that they could just choose to do that. That's amazing. Yeah, because I don't think you can now for safety reasons a lot of times.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot that's changed.
But also, and like what you decide to teach them, like a lot of that like was up to the teachers. Yeah. Back, like truly, like they were the ones who came up with, like, I think this is around the level they should learn. You know, they learn that kind of stuff in college, like child development and stuff like that. And they use that background knowledge to be like, this might be a good time to teach this or teach this and teach this. And now they give you like, this is what you're teaching. Yep. And it's like, and it's too much analytics behind it.
Get like the idea behind it, because it's like, like we can't, you know, you can't just let kids do need to learn things, certain things to be able to progress to the next level. I get that, but also like
all kids are different,
man.
Too.
It's bad. It's bad.
All kids are different, and it leaves kids behind.
And on that note,
we should leave.
We should leave.
Get the fuck out. Thank you guys for listening.
You're welcome for listening. Thank you for listening.
Dog.
If you guys want to listen to the podcast more, you can find it where you're listening to it right now. Thank you.
Shut the fuck